Hello, welcome to Alyssa Jean's Reviews, and this is my trans life or HRT update for May 2023. Sometimes I have a hard time just coming up with a good name for these videos, so I just go with it's my trans life update, the update of my life as a trans woman. Sometimes I have specific topics that I get into, and I title the videos based off of those specific topics. This month I didn't really have anything to talk about, but I put this video on my calendar, and I do promise at least one trans related video per month. And I know I do have at least a small segment of my subscribers who are in it for these videos as opposed to my Star Trek and Star Wars and all that stuff, that part of the channel. So I do want to always make sure I do at least one of these videos, even if I don't have anything immediately coming to mind that I want to talk about. So what I decided I would do is just kind of run through my recent greatest hits. So 3 topics that I have been talking about in recent videos, and just have a little bit more, little tiny update, a little bit more to add to those 3 topics. The first one of those, of course, being my HRT, my hormone replacement therapy. I think I covered it mostly last month. I was talking about my breast growth and how I thought it had stopped, but it had actually continued. At this point, I'm not sure. It may have stopped again for good this time, but I don't know. There still have been some nights where I feel that stretching pain, so maybe there's still a little tiny bit left to do. I don't know. I think about it a lot. I've thought about whether I would ever consider a breast augmentation in addition to the surgery, bottom surgery I'm already planning to get some point in the future. But the thing is here, so the way that my body is shaped, my breasts are just far apart, and from everything that I've read, getting augmentation is not going to fix that. They will just be bigger but still be further apart. And I think if I have any dissatisfaction with my body, it's more of that than the size. I have friends, cis female friends, who have breasts same size as me or even smaller, so and they're not getting augmentation. So it's just sometimes how it rolls for women. Some get larger breast sizes, some get smaller, and that's just the way it goes. I think more of the thing that bothers me is that they're further apart, and it's hard to get good cleavage. But that's not going to be changed by augmentation. And I have thought many times before that I think I have one surgery in me. I don't think I have 2, and I definitely am committed to the bottom surgery. So I think I'm sticking with that. And even though sometimes, I wish my body was a little bit different. So do a lot of women. So maybe most women, maybe all. So whatever, it is what it is. But I also want to pick up a little bit on my conversation last month about the emotional changes and just how I feel more settled in the feeling of being a woman and just the idea of being a woman. It feels more normal to me than it ever did. It's to the point where I don't know if I'm going to do a 3-year HRT timeline. I did a 1-year and a 2-year, and my anniversary is on August 4th. The trans woman's or trans person's 2nd birthday, their HRT anniversary. Mine is August 4th. So I don't know if I'm gonna do another one, because now it's just it's just normal now. I don't know. I don't know. Also, I'm not gonna be able to do get one of my friends to do a fancy photo shoot on that anniversary. I'm going to be doing something really fun. I'm actually going to be in New York City seeing Fish on August 4th. Actually, on August 1st, August 2nd, August 4th, and August 5th. So, uh, that's a great way to celebrate my second birthday. But I'm not gonna really. I mean, I'll take photos, but I won't do like the professional looking photo shoot that I've done in the past. I don't know. If you want to comment on this, if you think that I should do one more, um, do you care either way? I don't know. I do get a lot of views on those timelines. Um, I don't know. I'm on the fence on it. But things are really just settling in. Um, Sometimes it just feels really strange that I lived a different way for the vast majority of my life, but it is facts. But sometimes it almost seems like a dream. Anyways, so that's where I'm at. I guess mentally is more the appropriate phrase rather than emotionally, but that's where I'm at with that. Now let me move on to my next greatest hit. So the next thing I'll touch on is something I have talked about on and off over the past few months, and that is dating as a trans woman, dating apps. So how's that going for me? It's not. And I'm kind of giving up at this point, at least on the apps. Um, I don't know. I've talked about this before. I've talked about apps. I think there are special challenges for trans women, but also special challenges for people in their 40s, women in their 40s especially. I have a friend who I chat a bunch about dating apps. She is also a woman in her 40s, although a cis woman, so she's got a different experience. But I do also think that for people in their 40s, especially if you aren't just looking to get laid and you're actually looking for um, a relationship or at least something real, some kind of bond connection with a person, um, then it becomes challenging in your 40s on dating apps. And then other challenges for being a trans woman. So I've kind of put them aside for the most part. Every once in a while, I still pick them up and get addicted to this left, right swiping, mostly left. um, but nothing has come of those in over a year, so I'm just lost interest in them. So I mean, I would still love to meet someone, but it's like, well, when it happens, because it ain't gonna be through the dating apps. So that's the update on that. Although I did want to share a fun experience that I had, a kind of an experiment that I did a few weeks ago, just before I decided I was gonna abandon the dating apps again. Bumble. Bumble has this thing that they're doing on Thursday nights. They call it speed dating. So you get into the speed dating pool and they just match you with somebody and they show you a little blurry picture, like you can barely see their picture and their name and their age. And then you have 2 minutes to chat, and if you hit it off, then you can choose to, you can like the person, and if you like each other, and then you will get to continue your conversation and see their profile. Um, so the first time that I did that, I got this person, I forget their name now, but it was a name that does not necessarily give away their gender. Like, it could go either way. And since I have bisexual settings, I don't know, what the gender of the person is. So I asked for them for their pronouns, and they said that they don't believe in pronouns. They're a manly man or something like that. And then I was like, okay, well, ending this conversation. And then I started using that for everyone and asking them their pronouns, and it was astounding, like how many people were just like, I don't believe in pronouns. I don't use pronouns. Yeah, actually, you do. So I was just having fun. That was just amusing to me. I did it again the following week, and it was a different experience. There were cool. There were more like, I don't know, somewhat normal people, reasonable people, I would say. Uh, and I was actually able to have kind of realish conversations in 2 minutes. And in that case, like the interesting part for me was like going incognito because they don't know that I'm trans. So it was like an experiment to see how they would treat me, believing me to be a cis woman rather than a trans woman. And honestly, probably similarly to most people treat me on dating apps anyway, because a lot of them don't even see that I'm a trans woman right away, anyways. Um, but I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to see how people were treating me. I matched with a couple people, I think, who, as I expected them to, immediately unmatched the second they realized I was trans. That is my experience with cis men, particularly cis straight men. They don't like the trans women. So, at least that's been my experience. So, there was that. Um, since then, I just kind of have lost interest in the dating apps again. That was just kind of a fun little experiment that I did, and now I'm like back to, yeah, this sucks. I'm not getting anything out of it. So there's the sad tale of my dating life. All right, and the last topic I will revisit is something I've been talking about very recently in recent months, which is trans or anti-trans legislation and how fucked up the world is right now for the trans community. Um, yeah, I haven't really talked about Zoe Zephyr, and I'm not going to get into details about her now. If you aren't familiar with her, she's the Montana legislator, trans Montana legislator, who was silenced because she dared speak the truth and tell them that they have blood on their hands for writing legislation that would cause suicides. Sorry, you can't handle the truth. It's a very Jack Nicholson thing. You can't handle the truth. So I have been following her story, standing with her in solidarity. Go Zoe. I got a recent update on the Florida trans bathroom ban. I've talked about it in previous videos. I think it has now been signed by Ron DeSantis. I'm waiting for the lawsuit. Somebody's got to sue the fuck out of the state of Florida over this. Where are you, ACLU? Because this is fucked up. So basically, and apparently it doesn't apply to all restrooms, I heard. Like some public restrooms in education facilities, and public buildings, government buildings, but also like sports arenas, which would affect me because if I were to go to Florida, I would go to a sports arena to see fish, probably. But the law states that any person can ask any other person to leave a bathroom if they don't think they belong there. And if that person refuses to leave, they can be criminally charged. It's a misdemeanor, but it can carry a penalty up to 1 year in jail for using the fucking bathroom and having some crazy person who thinks you don't belong there tell you to leave because they're a fucking crazy asshole. And the crazy asshole has the law on their side. And as I've talked about before, this can also affect cis people if someone thinks that you look like you're in the wrong bathroom, even if you are cis, even if you're female at birth and you have a vagina and all of that stuff. If someone thinks you look too manly to be in there and they tell you to leave and you don't, you get arrested. It's insane. So, not that it's any less insane if a trans woman, male at birth, also gets arrested for being in that bathroom because they equally belong in there. So, this one I think has gotten under my skin the most because it is the one that would most directly affect me were I ever to step foot in the state of Florida again, which I will not. I have a couple of friends, acquaintances who are moving to Florida. We're doing a throwing away party for them on Sunday, and I will make sure to let them know that I really hope that they come visit here because I would love to see them here. I'm never going to Florida, sorry. So I'm just not. And that's one of many fucked up Florida laws, and I've talked about them in the past, so no need to rehash everything. But that one just got signed into law. That's the one that would theoretically most directly affect me personally if I were to ever go to Florida. But never mind all of the trans people that this does actually directly affect right now, or as soon as the law goes into effect in July. Somebody sue it. Somebody get this delayed at the very least. Otherwise, it goes into effect the day after Pride Month ends. Yay! Wonderful. Oh. So, that is all I have to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please join me next month for Pride Month, where I will do a Pride special video and potentially another Pride live stream as I did last year. So at least 2 videos next month. I got one Pride celebration under my belt. Last year was my first one. So looking forward to going back this year. So please join me next month, and happy Pride. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.